Edward Leos. Welcome to Travel Talk, filmed at the Peachtree Rose Marketing Studios and hosted by the hotel guide publisher, Edward Leos.
Good morning, everybody. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. Really excited about today's episode. I have Semra Hunter, who's the founder of, let me get this right, SAHARAï. Hopefully I did that.
Well done. Well done.
That was very good. So I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. And Semra, where are you coming from?
Marrakesh, Morocco.
Wow. This is why I love the power of technology. There are good uses of it, and this is one of them. So Semra, I'm excited to have you on the show today. Talk a little bit about your new venture and some of your background. But a lot of the times when I'm getting going, my listeners are like, hey, who are you talking to, Edward? Tell us a little bit about them. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got to where you are, and then we'll jump into the company and some other cool questions after that.
Absolutely. First things first, thank you so much for having me. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. This is going to be such a fun conversation, and I love talking about travel. So I feel like I'm in the right place. So
yes,
thank you again for the invitation.
You're welcome.
So who am I? Wow. Okay. I will try to keep this answer very short. I am originally from Los Angeles, born and bred, LA girl. And then I moved to Spain when I was 20. I did my junior year abroad. I went to UC Berkeley. I did my undergraduate study in what is a very Berkeley-esque way of calling international relations. It was peace and conflict studies. After 4 years, realized how much I absolutely hated politics. That was not going to be for me. I had this naive idea at 17, 18 that, I can just work in foreign embassies and consulates and travel the world and live in different countries. But no, the politics got in the way, and that was not for me. I should probably say that my first love was actually sport when I was growing up. So I played all kinds of different sports, mostly soccer and volleyball. Those were my two biggest ones. So I really had these two pillars of sport and travel as my main loves and passions. So I did my junior year abroad in Barcelona. Once I graduated from college, like 2 weeks later, I went straight back to Barcelona. I always knew from a very young age that I was going to be living in Europe and that I'd be living abroad. And so I was in Spain for 15 years, where I got into sports broadcast journalism. So I'm actually a television presenter by vocation, and I've worked in European football for the past 12 years. So I mostly covered Spanish football, La Liga, the Champions League, national team competitions like the Euros, the World Cups. I do other sports as well. Now I do a lot of paddle with Red Bull. I've done gaming for years with Konami. Now I do a lot of corporate events as well. I work with UEFA, with FIFA. I host draws for them and other corporate events and conferences. So I have my hands kind of in a lot of different pies, let's say. I don't like routine. I don't like routine. I like to be constantly challenged and to try new things and to experience as much as possible. And the beautiful thing about what I do is that I do get to marry sport and travel quite extensively. So it's been a fascinating journey. I lived in Turkey as well, in Istanbul, for 2 years. In between all of that, and now for the past year, I've been based in Morocco. So in summary, that's kind of me in a nutshell.
That's nice. That's a good background. We were talking offline a little bit about my love of sports, and originally wanted to be a sports broadcaster and journalist and all that. And then I ended up here in travel. And so it's kind of the same, a little bit like what you're doing. Being able to combine travel and what you do and what you love is always probably the ultimate thing for people. And so it's really cool that you're getting to do that as well. But tell me a little bit about the company, and tell me a little bit about what you're doing there and what great things are happening. And then we'll dive into that a little bit.
So the backstory to all of this, because everyone looks at me when I say I live in Morocco, the sheer shock on their face is like, what? Why? Like complete lack of comprehension, right? But it's actually a pretty straightforward answer. I fell in love. Not just with the country, but with a man who is from here. And now we've been together for 3.5 years. We were doing long distance from Spain and coming back and forth. He said to me one day, move to Marrakesh. I said, okay. So here I am. I love adventure, and this is very much up my alley. But no, truth be told, I did want to settle down and establish a long-term partnership with him. And we share so many of the same values, and we share so many of the same passions and philosophies on life, that it actually felt like a natural evolution to do this together, because he's actually worked in tourism for many, many, many years, pretty much his whole life. Even as a child, his family worked in tourism. So he's been exposed to it since he was a kid. He's been exposed to foreigners as well since he was a kid. And he's very, very good at navigating different cultures, different languages, different people, and making them feel very at home and very welcome here. And so we decided, well, why don't we actually bring together our strengths, which are, in his case, the knowledge, the deep network that he has all across the country, the experience, being the local, authentic person. And I can bring the communication, the PR, the creativity. I can help to bridge the two worlds of the West and sort of just the foreign aspect of things in general, and bridge that world with Morocco. As a foreigner who is here, living here, immerse myself in the culture, embedded myself into the daily life and routines, and obviously alongside my life partner. So that's really how it came about. It started initially as a bit of a passion project, as in like, oh, my free time, I'll help you out. And it's actually grown into, actually, let's do this really seriously, and let's do it together as co-founders and as equals. So that's really where we're at. He's obviously been doing this for a very long time. I'm a bit newer to the game, if you will. But I still feel like I have a lot to offer, and it's really exciting to see how this is all developing and growing and moving forward. So we're currently in the building phase still, but we're ready for a launch. We're planning for January 2026, so just around the corner.
Nice. So we get to catch you guys before y'all really take off. So I'm really excited about being a part of that announcement and stuff. And so tell me a little bit about how luxury travel really aligns with what you're doing with the agency.
So I think luxury can be defined in a lot of different ways.
Yes.
But I think the way that we choose to define luxury is not in the traditional sense, let's say. It's more in we want people to be present. We want people to experience rather than consume. I feel like when I travel a lot for work, I see people who are just there for the Instagram moments, for let's just check this off the list and say that I've been here. And let's just move very quickly from monument to monument. And you're kind of shepherded around like cattle, and you don't really get beyond the surface level, and you really scratch the surface. And I feel like for me, it's all about connecting in a deeper way. And I feel like that's the real luxury. It's slowing down. It's being present. Because a lot of times people go away from their trips not even remembering anything because they weren't actually there mentally or emotionally. They were there physically, but they didn't actually connect with the place in any real way, And so I, as well as my partner, want to offer a service where people can come to Morocco and they can connect with it in a different way. And that way being, of course, to be fully aware, to be fully conscious, to slow down, to put your phone on airplane mode. And if you want, just use it as a camera, but nothing else. And really allow yourself to open up and be surprised and to meet with people and to speak with people and to talk with them and get a real true feel for what this place is all about. Because for me, in my experience of all the places I've been to, I have to say, at least for me, there's been no place in the world that's really kind of nourished my soul in the way that Morocco does.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful place when it comes to the soul level. And so I would love for guests to come here and to really feel that and to really truly live that. And that for me is what real luxury is. Reconnecting with yourself in a way through being here.
No, definitely. I agree with you on that. I mean, we have a luxury section in our publication, and I've done different podcasts with different guests in the luxury space. But luxury means many things to many people. It's not necessarily all the complete opulence and all of that stuff.
Of course. Which it can be, and you can very much enjoy all of that here, by the way. Let me tell you, it is very enjoyable. The high-end opulence and that sort of high-end luxury that you're referring to, it is very available and it is very enjoyable, but it's not just about that, at least not for me.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I love how you're meshing the luxury side of things with the experiential side of things, because experiential travel is just going next level, but it's really being there. It's really about being engaging in the place you're at and coming back better for it. And I think that's what people are hopefully looking for a little bit more. So let's switch from the business side to the personal side, talking about travel. And I always ask my guests these two questions because I get some great answers from them. But what are some of your favorite travel destinations, which I already know one of your answers because you're there. But then also, what are some places on your bucket list for travel?
Oh, I love this question. Okay. I would say Cambodia was really a place that resonated with me. Probably like many kids of the 90s, I was a huge and still am a huge fan of Indiana Jones. And secretly, I want to be Indiana Jones even now. Wow. So going to the jungle and seeing the temples and seeing Siem Reap and those places in Cambodia, I actually felt like I was in the movies and I felt like I was Harrison Ford. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
That's awesome.
So for me, Cambodia was extraordinary. And the people were some of the kindest, warmest, friendliest, happiest people I've ever met, which to me was really mind-boggling considering the horrors and the atrocities that they went through with the Khmer Rouge, and the fact that pretty much everyone who's alive today had been affected by it in some capacity. Almost everybody alive today lost somebody during that period. And the fact they can just still go through life with this huge smile on their face and be grateful for what they do have. I mean, that place taught me so many lessons. And it really made me rethink a lot of what I thought I knew about life.
Yeah.
And it really touched me in such a profound way that it stayed with me ever since. And I think I can't remember exactly when I went. I went with my mom, and I think it was about 10 years ago. And I've always wanted to go back since, always. That place is truly special. So Cambodia would be one of those places. And I would say Turkey, only because I'm actually Turkish as well. My grandfather is Turkish, and we have a huge extended family. It's a wild story, but long story short, my dad had an American mother. He was conceived in Turkey. He was born and raised in the States, but we've always been connected to Turkey. So ever since I was born, we would go every year. We'd visit family. We'd explore the country. And it is incredible when it comes to the history and the nature and just all of those ancient civilizations that have passed through there, and the things that they've left behind, the legacy that they've left behind, the mix of all those different peoples and tribes. It's an astonishing place. The food as well is some of the best in the world, let me tell you. I absolutely love Turkey. I think it is a wonderful place and it offers so much. And it would definitely, for me, I think Istanbul is one of those must visit before you die places.
Wow.
It's truly exceptional and extraordinary. There's nothing like the Bosphorus. There's no place in the world that connects two continents in one city. It's it's magnificent. It really is.
Nice.
And then where we'd like to go.
Yeah.
Okay, how much time do you have? Honestly, there's pretty much nowhere in the world that I wouldn't want to go to. I just love being exposed to so many different places, and the more exotic, the better. For some reason, I would say Sri Lanka really calls to me, and I'm not even really sure why, but for some reason, I have that as probably my top 3 places that I would like to go to. Same with Mongolia. I'm not even sure why, but Mongolia also speaks to me for some reason. I can't quite put my finger on it, but kind of heading in that way, exploring that area would be nice. I would be very interested in exploring a bit more of Asia, but definitely now that I'm in Africa, I didn't really have any interest in it before, but now that I've learned a lot more about it, and my partner, obviously being African, he has such an interest in exploring the continent that it's kind of gotten me a little bit more excited about it.
Awesome.
Really cool places. So I think that's definitely something that we have much on our bucket list to explore in the near future.
Oh, that's awesome.
Timbuktu, and I'm like, yep, I'm on the first plane there.
Well, that's even better. We've got we're kind of winding down here a little bit, but tell me, what's the best way for people to learn more about the company and connect with you guys?
Mm. In the process of being built. We expect it to be launched December or the beginning, but we do already have the domain, which is going to be SAHARAIMoroccotours.com. SAHARI MoroccoTours.com. And
That's
we do have a social media account on Instagram, which is the only account that we have right now, and it's SAHARAI Official.
perfect. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on.
And that's where you can currently find us.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Say
It's
again?
been I was saying it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast today, and I'm looking forward to the official unveiling and everything good that you're going to be doing. But yes, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Watch this space. There's still more to come. We are really looking forward to 2026 and to seeing what that brings. And of course, we would be happy to invite you and all of your listeners and everybody else to come to Morocco. This is always a place that is here to welcome you with open arms. So have a wonderful rest of the year. Thank you again for having me. And hopefully we'll catch up again sometime soon.
Of course, you got it. Well, to all of our listeners, readers out there, and followers, you know the drill. Follow us at thehotelguide.com. We'll actually have Semra's contact information in our show notes too. But like we always like to say, travel and make memories. And until next time, everybody take care, and we'll talk soon.